Alright, so hey guys, Maniac here, and I'm here with some Maniac reviews. And today for Maniac reviews, I'm gonna be reviewing X-Men Days of Future Past. Now, I'll try to do something that you see in the movie, that is control metal, by controlling that pop can right over there. Okay, I think it fell off, I don't know. Alright, so X-Men Days of Future Past. First things I want to mention is that this is the fourth, no, as far as X-Men movies go, this is the 6th X-Men movie, and everything. No, fifth. Keep screwing it up. 5th X-Men movie. And, yeah. So, I'm gonna start off this time with the storyline. The storyline is basically, in the future, the Sentinels have taken over and have destroyed everything, and it's just, you know, this apocalyptic setting because freaking the Sentinels are OP. And this all happened because Mystique killed Peter Dinklage's character, and Mystique is Raven or Jennifer Lawrence, whatever, killed Dr. Trask, the guy who made the Sentinels. And because of that, they were able to be put into office and stuff, and then they made them. And then because Mystique died during this, they were able to, you know, get her DNA and do funky stuff with that. So then, you know, they used that for the Sentinels, and the Sentinels became really OP, and everybody started dying. So, Wolverine must go back into the past, stop Mystique, but to do that, he must find Charles, aka Professor X, and Eric, aka Magneto, in their past selves. And thus the movie plays on with time travel and a whole bunch of weird stuff. So, as far as storylines go, it's probably my favorite storyline out of all the X-Men movie, because this is the one that they did it most correctly. This is the one that they did it most justice when it came to the comic books, and the one that actually worked the best, in my opinion. It seemed they did it really well. I don't know how there's any other way I can say it, but the storyline really worked well with the rest of everything in the movie. And the one thing that I did have a problem with it is that they wanted to sync it up with the other 4 X-Men movies. They did it good with First Class. They did it good with X-Men 1 and 2, but X-Men 3, it was a damn Christmas miracle because they pretended like that movie never happened at all. There was one thing mentioned from that movie, everything else is just gone. The one main thing from that movie, they mentioned one thing. Everything else just, gone. And I'm just like, what? I thought they didn't have their powers anymore because of the freaking antidote that they get in the 3rd. What the hell? Anyways, let's go on to characters. Alright, so characters. This is a big list, alright? There's a lot of big name people and a lot of big characters. So we got Hugh Jackman, of course, as Wolverine, aka Logan. We have James McAvoy as past Charles. We have Michael Fassbender as past Eric. Jennifer Lawrence as Raven. Nicholas Hoult as Hank/Beast. That's who you might know him as. And Raven is also Mystique. Oh, by the way, Charles in this movie, at the time, this is past Charles, he does not really have his powers yet. He's not Professor X. Same with Eric, he's not really Magneto yet. Ellen Page as Kitty Pryde, the reason why they're back in time. Peter Dinklage as Dr. Bolivar Trask, the guy who makes all the Sentinels. Patrick Stewart as Professor X or Future Charles. And Ian McKellen as Future Eric or Magneto. So as far as characters go, the one problem I had with all these is that it's kind of like, if this is your first X-Men movie that you're ever seen, which wouldn't really make any sense because there's been so many. Anyways, if this is your first X-Men movie that you're seeing, then you're thrown way out of the loop because you don't know who some of these people are. Like, they show Storm off for like a total of 10 minutes, and you're just like, who's that? Why is she such a big deal in this movie? But she only gets shown like such a short time. It's like, you know, and then like there's no really character development except for past Charles and past Eric. That's what I'm just gonna call them. Ow, my leg's itchy. So yeah. But other than that, it was all really good acting. You know, I can't complain. Alright, let's go on positives and negatives. Alright, so positives and negatives. I'm going to start off with negatives because there wasn't that many. There's no padding in this movie. There really hasn't been in the last little while. So that's a positive. Negatives, as far as negatives go, is, like I said, the thing with the characters, and the thing with the storyline is that it doesn't really sync up with X-Men 3, which is fine because X-Men 3 was a horrible movie. Now, let's go into the positives, because no padding, great acting, great storyline. I love the storyline. I love how it was done. Great syncing with the other movies. It's a hard thing to do when you're dealing with time travel, and especially when it comes to you already have an established franchise, like an established movie franchise like X-Men. And it's a hard thing to do to have it to sync up and make sense with the other movies. And they did that. And they did that well. They didn't fuck up. They didn't screw up. They did that well. Alright? And this is, in my opinion, all the other X-Men movies compared to this one are, like, okay, I would say, as far as good X-Men movie goes, this is number one now. This was a great movie. I don't have that much complaints. I was scared, alright? Because I've seen Wolverine, that was a bad movie. I saw Spider-Man 2, that was a horrible movie. And you know, some of the other kind of crappy superhero movies lately, that I was scared of this movie. I was scared to go into this movie because I thought that they were going to screw it up again. I thought I was going to be wasting another $15. They didn't do that. They did it right. And they did it proper. They did justice to the comic books. They did justice to the movies, in particular. And there's no way I can complain about this movie other than, for the beginners, it's going to be a bit weird. And them not really syncing up with X-Men 3. But I can understand, because what do you want to do? Do you want to make this movie longer and have it... The other thing I liked about this movie is it throws you right in. The first scene, you're already seeing Sentinels, people battling Sentinels. Sorry about that. And there's honestly nothing wrong with that. In my opinion, that is great. I love just kind of getting thrown into movies. I think it's fun. It draws you into the movie. It really, like... The first scene, I was not expecting at all. I'll tell you that. I was not expecting there to be this giant battle between the Sentinels, Colossus, and all these people. And... and then nothing it's a great opening to the movie, throwing you in, getting you excited, getting you pumped, and then the rest of the movie just keeps you in there. Alright, it doesn't, you know, you don't, it's not like you just kind of get bored part of the way through and you're like, how much more goddamn time do I have left in this movie? I want to go home and eat some brownies. Not one of those type of movies, alright? You get drawn in and you want to stay in. And it keeps you at that level. So with this movie, I'm going to give it a 4.9. It's by far probably one of the best Marvel movies in the last couple years. I would say the only ones that are kind of on par with this are Thor. Thor, Avengers, and maybe one of the Iron Man movies. Maybe. And Captain America 2. And Winter Soldier. Those movies are the only thing, in my opinion, that come par to this one. So, I highly recommend you guys go see this. The other thing is, it was a giant turnout for the movie. Giant turnout. I barely got in myself. I should have pre-ordered my tickets. That's how full it was. I ended up getting kind of crappy seats in between people, but at least they weren't annoying people or smelled bad or something like that. But thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, favorite, like, and all that fun stuff. And I'll see you guys next time on whatever I make. He's gonna drag on up. Peace out. Boobity boop boop. Boop boop.